Show today. It is finally here. It's finally over. Trump is 100% the president for the United States. He has now officially won the 2024 presidential election, and Kamala Harris had to certify it. And guys, you are not going to believe the videos that have transpired today with Kamala Harris being snubbed by many senators, not even wanting to shake her hand. And also, we got the video of her actually saying that Donald Trump won. Donald Trump was so excited. He came out, he posted on Truth, Congress certifies our great election victory today as big movement in history, MAGA, all caps. On top of that, guys, we got a ton of breaking news for you today. Big, super happy day for MAGA folks. But now that the Electoral College has now officially, everything's been certified, now it's time to move forward. After everything that Trump has been through, the sham trials, fighting almost every single media outlet, he's officially won. But now we're expecting, this is the number, guys, this is a big number of upwards of close to 100 executive orders to be signed on day one with Trump's signature to rescind a lot of the Biden's spending, all of Biden's executive actions on remain in Mexico and unsecuring the southern border, to undo all the executive orders pertaining to banning on offshore drilling and more. We got a huge list to show you, and I'm telling you, the number one priority, Trump has just said today, shutting down the southern border completely. Nobody coming in, nobody for a period of time, a complete shutdown of the southern border. Let me know your thoughts. Also, with Kamala Harris now officially certifying her own defeat, we have this historic moment on video. We want to show you because this will be a moment that everybody remembers, that they tried to input her bypassing the coup and bypassing Biden, doing a coup, and she lost. On top of that, Justin Trudeau of Canada, the Prime Minister, has announced his resignation. And also, guys, I'm telling you, this is big. As soon as he announces his resignation, Trump posts on Truth Social of combining Canada with the United States, making Canada the 51st state of the United States, and just reiterating his seriousness to merge these two countries. Also, we have new evidence now that Representative Tim Burchett is saying that the American people are sending their hard-earned taxpayer dollars, about $40 million a week, to the Taliban through the Afghanistan Central Bank. He is disgusted. I'm disgusted. He said this wants to end immediately. And also, we have good news that all of Trump's nominees for his cabinet positions have the necessary votes to be confirmed in the Senate, getting ready for Trump's first 100 days in office. Guys, today is a huge day. You don't want to miss the entire show. We've got some insane news for you. I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so I can serve you every day with the top news. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button, guys. It really does help to grow the channel. And thank you so much to all of our members of the channel. We couldn't do it without you. Guys, we appreciate you so much. And thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. If you want to be a member, the link is in the description to join the TrueLife News fam, guys. And hey, hope you like the new logo. We're also got some new videos for that as well coming up soon. But I want to jump right into this news of what has transpired today with the certification and what's coming next. Check this out.
The Democratic Party, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the news media especially, putting all their eggs in this January 6th basket, really thinking that they could not only permanently end Donald Trump's political career, put him in prison, but also kill the MAGA movement over the events of January 6th, an utter historic failure on so many levels. And you really have to believe that is a higher influence about what's happened in this country the past 4 years, that these demons did not prevail in the end.
Our cause is righteous.
That's
and
right.
We're a righteous people. Our cause is righteous. And divine providence worked through this audience and worked through Trump.
Yes.
Trump's decision, a conscious decision to return to the battlefield, is why he's the American Cincinnatus and why we're here today with victory. It's the greatest. Kennedy wrote this book, Profiles in Courage. It's the greatest example of moral courage in the history of the nation. in the history of the nation. Think about the judge of the 34 felony counts. They want to put him in Rikers Island for 20 years.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this just broke. I got some insane breaking news for you about Greenland, the country Greenland. I'm going to show you in just a moment.
You don't think these demons, Matthew Graves and Lisa Monaco and Merrick Garland, these smiling demons, anybody that would give George Soros and invite George Soros into the House of this republic that people have died on foreign battlefields to defend, to invite that demon in there and give him the highest medal, the equivalent, the civilian equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, and mock you and smirk with Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, Matthew Graves, all of you. We're going to hunt you down to the ends of the earth in a legal process, not what you gave the J6 people, because you know why? You thought they were powerless. The reason you did it, and the reason you will be condemned forever in the eyes of the American people, is that you did it because you thought they were powerless. And you're going to show their cohorts how powerless they are, how powerless this movement is. Well, guess what? Not only is it not powerless, it's the most powerful political movement in the history of this nation. And in 2 weeks from today, it takes power.
Yes.
And you are not going to like what is done with that power, and fully legal, fully transparent, and for not just the American people, we're out, as Lincoln said, thrust upon the world stage. Thrust upon the world stage for the world to watch and for the world to judge our actions. This is a righteous movement with righteous people and a righteous leader in Donald Trump, and I know they hate that. And the more they hate it, the more I relish it. I detest you people. I despise you people.
The Democrat.
I love it, guys. Get some thumbs up for Trump's certification today if you are a MAGA lover. Guys, you just cannot, like, Trump being able to post this is literally, this is history in the making, everybody. Congress certifies our great election victory today, a big moment in history. MAGA forever will we remember that Donald Trump not only won the 45th presidency, the pandemic that literally shut down the entire world, that literally was a big factor in him losing the 2020 election, along with all the mail-in votes, all the fake, all that stuff that we know now for sure actually happened. He's officially won, and he doesn't stop there, guys. He literally posts this. This is literally coming out because remember, Justin Trudeau, he resigned today as the Prime Minister over Canada. Many people in Canada love being in the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. If Canada merged with the U.S., there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of the Russian and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. Y'all don't think this is serious, guys? Trump wants Canada. He is not joking around. This is not some little statement. This is literally being said by the most powerful person in the world about to be, as he takes his presidential appointment. Not only that, Donald Trump Jr. is expected to land in Greenland tomorrow per government officials. Well, what the heck is happening with Greenland? Trump wants this country too as well. Guys, we are about to see the biggest changes possible to ever hit the United States. I believe we're going to get at least one of these in the next 4 years. We're about to see the biggest changes ever. Ronald Zimmerman, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Let's show Ronald some love in the chat. But I want to show you this real quick because Trump is posting a lot today. He said Biden is doing everything possible to make the transition as difficult as possible from lawfare such as has never been seen before. It's costly and ridiculous executive orders on the Green New scam and other money-wasting hoaxes. Fear not, these orders will all be terminated shortly and we will become a nation of common sense and strength. MAGA. Let's go, guys. This is huge, huge news. What you're about to hear next, the information is leaking out like never before. Check this out.
I wanted to get to The Twinkies case in New York is a freaking disgrace, folks. This Judge Merchan is an embarrassment to humankind. He's an embarrassment to the country. He's an embarrassment to the cosmos. He's the judge in the fake New York case. He is absolutely committed to having Trump right before his now 2-week-away inauguration discussed only as a convicted felon. Let me be clear about this. It is a fake case with fake charges, with a fake judge, with a fake justice system in the state of New York and the city of New York. The case is an embarrassment. Of course, the judge upholds Trump's felony conviction, wants to sentence him, but doesn't plan to order jail time. This is done for one reason, because the media and the left always want to tell you a story, not the story. And a story they want to tell you is the first convicted felon president. That's the only reason. The case is bullshit. It's always been bullshit. You know that. I know that. He's not a convicted felon. He is a victim of the deep state. Those are not the same things, okay? This was a joke of and I wanted to mention it first because it's been on my mind all week, how this Judge Merchan, really, folks, this guy should be under investigation for allowing this trial to go on, for his jury instructions, and everything he did to subvert the justice system is disgusting, and this country will never be the same after what they did. Not only that, but I start getting all these emails. It was a bit of a time change. Again, Spain is 6 hours ahead. So I start getting all these emails from friends like, Dan, you called it again. I said, I did. What happened? What did I do now? Because, Michael, our batting average is? What is it again? The blackout coffee timeout to celebrate our batting average of, yes, 1,000. I told you that the January 6th bomber case, where a pipe bomb was planted at the DNC where Kamala Harris was on January 6th, and nobody in the media wants to talk about it. I told you when Donald Trump won, did I not? Go back and find the videos yourself, that there are going to be people in the FBI who are trying to protect their jobs. And they're going to start releasing information now about the bomber, which was an inside job, no question in my mind. It was clearly some Democrat operative trying to stop Republicans from questioning the January 6, 2020 election. I told you insiders were going to start releasing information because they wanted to cozy up to the Trump team. And they were going to say, it's new video. How is it new video? Did you guys know when January 6, 2020 happened? It's not a trick question. These guys are confused. I'll give you a hint. It was on January 6th, 2020. But that's yeah. But years have gone by. It's January 6th now. 2025, I mean. That was 4 years ago. So how is this headline accurate? ABC News. FBI releases new video information in the hunt for January 6th pipe bomber. How is it new video? How is it new video? Folks, it's not new video. People in the FBI are trying to save their jobs right now. You got to understand something, okay? I worked inside the government for a long time. A lot of the people in the upper levels of the FBI, they're making good money, folks. They're making probably $160,000 to $200,000 a year with bonuses, which is good money. That's well above middle-class money. Like well above middle-class money, okay? People are... I'm trying to read the chat a little bit, see what you guys are up to. This is good money. They don't want to lose their jobs. A lot of these guys and women out there that are working in the FBI, they have no other career potential outside of the FBI because they're going to be stigmatized to their attachment to this case, and a lot of people aren't going to want to touch them. They need to hold on to their jobs. So now you're seeing all of a sudden, oh, new videos surfacing. Look at this. Now, Julie Kelly, who you know what, Jim? We should get her on the show today, by the way, in the radio show. Julie Kelly put out this tweet. More evidence of doctored FBI pipe bomb video? Here's the side-by-side of two different cameras from the DNC security system. Watch the frame rate of these two clips, and you're going to see, we're going to play this on VL, that these are clearly not the same video. Folks, it's the same, maybe the same camera, but it looks like these videos, as Darren Beatty and Julie have been talking about for a long time, were doctored for some reason. This is supposed to be the person who planted the bomb. I'm telling you, there is no way they don't know who this person is, folks. What are they hiding? I have a source. Listen, this is where you keep this running for a minute. If they've seen this video and the guy's on his cell phone, right? How the hell, look, you see, these are not the same video. Why are they hiding it and saying it's new? Because there's no doubt in my mind they know or have a good idea who this person is. They just don't want...
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm telling you this. We 100%, I believe that part of January 6th was a cover-up, and it was planted by 3-letter agencies, and it's all being uncovered now. They can't hide it anymore. Let me know your thoughts.
You to know who it is, because when you find out it is not a MAGA bomber, but a Democrat or anti-Trump connected person that was trying to create a scandal about an attempted assassination of Kamala Harris, it's going to blow the doors off the media that's been lying to you about this too. Folks, a source told me a long time ago, stop the tape here and pay very close attention to this. A source told me a long time ago who was there on January 6th working as a federal agent. So don't tell me there were no federal agents in the crowd working, because he was one of them. He sent me a freaking selfie of him in the crowd on January 6th. He told me they were closing in on who this alleged bomber was, right? And that mysteriously, a couple days afterwards, they were all told to stand down, do no further investigation on this. He was there. They were working this thing. There is zero doubt they know who this person is. They just don't want you to know who it is. Folks, these people are all worried right now that we are 14 days away from a new and experienced Trump coming in there with 4 years of a quality body of experience under his record as a prior president, ready to come in and take every single stone and turn it over. And they know jobs are at stake and reputations are at stake, because I'm telling you, they can't delete everything. There are people on the inside, it may be a small number, but there are assuredly people on the inside who, they may not be good or bad people. I'm not saying either way. They just want to preserve their jobs, that probably have thumb drives full of information getting ready to say, are you going to fire me? Here, what if I help you out? Here's this. That's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, you want to fire me? What if I help you out and I expose Joey Bag of Donuts there at the FBI who was involved in this cover-up? Here's the thumb drive. That's why you're starting to see things like this. This is not a coincidence. Watch this video of deep state goon hack commie John Brennan, who called Trump every nasty, disgusting, filthy name in the book. Watch Brennan in a recent interview say, oh, you know what, this transition team, it's not so bad. They're trying to save their reputations. They don't have a lot of time left. 2 weeks. Watch this.
Now it's taking place in a more serious and professional fashion than happened in 2016, 2017. Because you have people like a Marco Rubio, who has been named to be the next Secretary of State, who is well steeped in these issues and also takes them very seriously. And I know that there is engagement between the Biden Department of State and the incoming Trump team.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's all coming together. It's all looking amazing. I want to show you this because, again, too, what we're seeing it today. Biden officially bans offshore drilling in vast ocean areas. What has Trump been saying? Drill, baby, drill. And then you got a Biden who immediately says, no, we're just going to ban everything so that you can't do it. Listen to what Trump has to say in his reaction, because I'm telling you, Trump is, there's nothing that's stopping him. He's got 4 more years. He can't be president again. So him moving forward, he's going to get everything done that he wants to get done because he doesn't have to run again. He's already been president. Guys, listen to this.
Things done, we don't get them done. I see it just came over that Biden has banned all oil and gas drilling across 625 million acres of U.S. coastal territory. It's ridiculous. I'll unban it immediately. I will unban it. I have the right to unban it immediately. What's he doing? Why is he doing it? You know, we have something that nobody else has. I mean, nobody has to the extent we have it, and it'll be more by the time we finish because I'll be able to expand. You know, we're going to expand our country, and it'll be more. We have oil and gas, and whether you manufacture widgets or gadgets or whatever you happen to be doing, some countries have to work very hard to do that. We do too, and we will. But we have oil and gas at a level that nobody else has, and we're going to take advantage of it. And when I see somebody saying he's going to ban 625 million acres, he doesn't know what that is. He doesn't even know what 625 million acres would look like. And we can't let that happen to our country. It's our greatest. It's really our greatest economic asset. And we're not going to let that happen to.
Guys, he said, I'm going to unban it. First day. Get it going. I want to show you this because this is iconic, everybody. This happened today. This is, remember, Kamala Harris is certifying everything. She certified that Trump is president. Now she's certifying all the new senators. Look what happens today. This is one of the new senators and her husband. Look what happens.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Shakes her hand.
Thank you.
Goes to shake his hand.
Thank you.
Literally snubs her. Guys, he said, I don't want none of that. I ain't shaking your hand. I ain't got to. Not only on that, we've got, again, now the leading report is showing that right here, Donald Trump Jr. is reportedly expected to arrive in Greenland tomorrow. Guys, things are happening so fast. Thank you so much, Mr. Norby, for the super chat. Let's go. He said, I love Prime Minister Trudeau resigning office. Wonderful travels for America. We need much better people to hold all the offices, no matter where in what country they are from. 100%. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love. Also, remember, Mr. Norby for Congress. He said he's making some signs, guys. I love it. Because remember, what did I tell you earlier? That all the nominees right here, this is Trump's list of Trump's cabinet. Everybody from Marco Rubio for Secretary of State to Pete Hegseth to Pam Bondi, Trump's nominees has reportedly secured the votes needed to be confirmed. Guys, this is amazing, amazing news. Look at this image right here. This is all of Trump's team. Tulsi Gabbard, the Doge brothers. You've got J.D. Vance in there, Pam Bondi, Marco Rubio, all of them, Tom Homan, Kash Patel, Matt Gaetz. Guys, all these guys, everybody, they are making way, and I love it. I hope you're loving this too. I want to show you something else too, because this whole 2020 thing that happened, I'm telling you, the whole January 6th was in the effort for Trump to never be able to become president again. It was all a sham. It was orchestrated from the deep state. But listen to this. New evidence is coming out, and I love it.
I went to prison, essentially, because of the lies. If you guys, you remember on the show, the Green Bay sweep was about using the Electoral Count Act of, was it 1887? The one that they changed in the middle of the night, with an omnibus package a couple of years ago, Mitch McConnell, so that never again could that move for a contingent election be used. We had the full constitutional rights to do. In fact, it was the way that it should have been handled. And of course, it was all about the House and the Senate saying for the state legislatures, then they couldn't certify the election. It would go back to the states. It wouldn't be able to be certified. They wouldn't certify President Trump's electors. I was always opposed to that, so that's not going to happen. But they would not be able to certify the Biden electors. It would go into a contingent election to the House as laid out in the Constitution and the Electoral Count Act. And it would, and President Trump would have won, I don't know, 26, 24. Because you vote by state party delegation of congressmen, not individual congressmen. That was all ended by the Judas Pence letter. It came out at 1 o'clock. Remember this letter, which nobody talks about. The letter, the White House, the counsel for the vice president actually reports to the White House counsel. He has a collateral reporting to the vice president. They never ran that letter by anybody. This is the ultimate mortal sin of Mike Pence. He never ran that letter by anybody. Never ran it by the White House. Never ran it by the president. Never ran it by anybody. Just dropped it on people. That's what triggered the. That's what triggered the. I wouldn't even call it a riot. The event. We had it all set all day to have the House and the Senate go through. I think it was going to be, so there's 6 states. I think they might throw in the 7th state, 2 hours per state, per chamber. 14 is going to be 26, 28 hours of putting forth the evidence. People were prepared. Matt Gaetz was prepared. MTG was prepared. Jim Jordan was prepared. And you saw the media of the last 4 years. This is the first time we've played that, but they had all that footage. They cut it down to 1 second with me saying, all hell's going to break loose, to play, I think it was even for the day before, to look like we were instigating the riot, everything but that. Look at what we have saved the nation. Biden's leaving today. I think the polling shows that 48% of the American people believe that Biden's one of the worst presidents in history. Well, what did we say from day one? He was illegitimate. It's an illegitimate regime. And I told this audience, if you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it, that eventually people start to wake up and you go, you know what? I'm not so sure about this election. Let me look into this. Let me check it out. And more people over time will focus on his illegitimacy. Today at 1 o'clock, Jamie Raskin, I'm sure that crowd has got some things in store, but hey, this should go as such an overwhelming victory. It should go pretty quickly. We'll be back at 5 live with Ben Bergquam. Ben's not in D.C. today, but we'll have Ben Bergquam with us. Just go back and think about 4 years ago. After that happened, when President Trump was essentially run out of town a couple weeks later, they tried to humiliate him. That was the low of the MAGA movement. Everybody abandoned us. Everybody. They all abandoned President Trump. You remember this. You all abandoned MAGA. How many of your MAGA colleagues today, and we welcome people back that are back with us, and I'm not talking about the people that came in at the end and just kind of threw in for the victory. I'm talking about true MAGA people. I think we lost a third of MAGA. It's only about, 50% to 2/3, rule of thumb. Hung tough.
I hung tough the entire time.
The greatest comeback in the history of all politics. You were not just part of it. You were the driving force of it.
Yes.
You must go back for 4 years ago. Remember that day. Remember the disappointment. Remember the heartbreak. Remember how close we were to actually pulling it off. That President Trump had legitimately won the 2020 election, and they could not legitimately certify the usurper. Look at the agony the world's gone through. Look at the agony the country's gone through.
Guys, it has been such an agony. Think about it. Russia invades Ukraine. Hamas attacks Israel. China is circulating Taiwan. Inflation rises above 20%. We spend $8 trillion in 4 years unneeded after the pandemic ended. Guys, so much has happened across the past 4 years, but now it is time for new. I wanted to show you this again too because everybody's reporting this. Trump wants to make Canada the 51st state. If Canada merged with the U.S., there would be no tariffs. Taxes would go way down. They would be totally secure from the threat of the Russian and Chinese ships. I don't know if everybody knows, but Canada is only I think an hour away from Russia. That's how close they are. And then it's only literally miles from Alaska to Russia. And if we could occupy that entire territory, it would make us that much stronger. On top of that, guys, I want to show you this. This is literally the impact that Trump is making. If we look back to the donations made to Biden's inaugural fund in 2021, Meta, Facebook is Meta, $0. Tim Cook, 0. Sam Altman is the guy over at OpenAI who's dealing with all the artificial intelligence. Google gave $200,000, Amazon gave $200,000. In 2025, Donald Trump's inaugural fund, $1 million from Meta. Remember, they censored Trump's butt big time back in 2020. They even censored him when it came to the attempted assassination, and they're trying to get in good with him. Tim Cook, personal money. Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple. Sam Altman, $1 million. Google, $1 million. Amazon, $1 million. Guys, I'm telling you, they are bending the knee because they know that Trump is ready. There's no regrets anymore. There's no more, oh, I've got to do things a certain way because I'm going to be running for re-election. No, it's coming in, cleaning house, getting rid of everybody, and making America great again like it was in the beginning with the founders. No oligarchs, no deep state, no three-letter bureaucracies trying to control the American people's lives. And I have this amazing news to show you about Social Security. Thank you so much, Michelle Eisner, for the super chat. Let's go. Said, I pray that the corruption that has been exposed, that investigations will ensure with convictions. 100%. Y'all show Michelle some love in the chat. I'm telling you guys, Representative Thomas Massey, he was the guy that actually didn't vote for Johnson, has introduced a bill to exempt senior citizens from taxes on Social Security retirement payments. Remember, no tax on Social Security. There is your bill that has now been introduced. Trump has already had so many other bills already put in place that by the time they get into the new Congress, they're doing the reconciliation package, that they're going to be able to get it done fast. I want to show you what Kayleigh McEnany says about the reconciliation package because, again, too, remember, this is what they're going to use to do the no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, and she's going to tell us how it's going to go down. Check this out.
I need to know all the ins and outs of reconciliation, but why does it matter to try to do one instead of two?
So according to reporting, Stephen Miller and much of the staff were pushing for this two-track, and Thune as well, of course, Senate Majority Leader. They wanted immigration first to make it easier, get that across the finish line, and then deal with the more complicated tax policy down the line. President Trump likes to go bold. He wants it all in one. I think he wants to be able to say this is the most impactful piece of legislation in American history. I think it's smart because this is an economy that's kind of sputtering despite what all the economic metrics say. So why not get no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, the working man's economic agenda, make that priority number one with immigration. The good thing for Mike Johnson, he says he wants this done by April. The special elections in Florida's 1st and 6th district happen just before that.
Oh, smart.
So they might have that 3-vote margin instead of the 1 vote.
Oh,
Look, Kayleigh, she's telling
all
herself.
right. I love it
guys.
when someone makes me go,
Yeah.
I'm a Floridian.
Value added. Johnson also said the smallest margin in U.S. history for the first 100 days. But we're going to get it done. We'll see how they do. It's going to be a big part of this. Meanwhile, the outgoing president, Joe Biden, had some pointed comments. Roll this.
The only thing, by being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life. And I know them, and I know how they think.
Can you imagine he said that? Like, that's pretty messed up.
I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of...
He's talking to like 30-year-old men
reporters.
And women. Yeah.
Right, and also you think about all the foreign leaders making their way to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, the person coming in, President Trump, clearly knows a lot. But look, his knee-jerk seems to be a certain level of aggression. We saw this after his remarks on the legacy of Carter. He made that kind of slight at President Trump, saying decency, decency, decency. It's really kind of striking because if you remember week 6 of his term, he met with historians in the East Room talking about wanting to be FDR, and he's leaving in a very different light. His staff still says to the Washington Post, history will remember him kindly. I think that's very much up for debate.
Senator Chuck Schumer did an interview, and he was asked about something that I think a lot of people are wondering, where are we going to get some answers about what people knew about Joe Biden's mental capacities? Here's what Chuck Schumer said.
What do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
Look, we didn't, and let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. He's a great guy, and when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Kayleigh, last word.
I mean, that's one of the big shames is we won't find out really what happened with the Biden mental acuity. There will be books written, I'm sure, but there was a lot there. There was a cover-up. Reporters knew. Olivia Nuzzi said reporters were debating how frail, and I'm being kind in using that word. The president looked after a meeting with him early in his term. They lengthened or lightened his schedule. This is a big cover-up, and we'll never know the depths of it.
The kind of question that probably deserves a follow-up. Maybe we'll get our chance. Right. Kayleigh,
guys, let me tell you this. What's coming next? I'm about to show you a picture. This is what's coming next because a lot of people, I've told you at the very beginning, There's upwards going to be, now somebody made this. This is from 2016, but imagine they signed, I think it was close to 50 executive orders in 2016. Imagine that in a couple of weeks, Trump is going to be signing almost 100 executive orders on his first day in office, undoing all of Biden's craziness, putting America first, closing the border, and cleaning up the deep state in the swamp. This is going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, guys. And the other thing, too, is this. Senator Cruz calls out for the release of the Epstein and the Diddy list on January 20th. Remember, even Elon Musk said, we're going to release the list, the Epstein list especially. You're talking about, think about it, with the Epstein list, a high-profile person who's trafficking humans, trafficking all these women, gets caught, is in jail. It's been years. We don't know anything. We haven't seen any trial. We haven't heard any list. And all the people on their list were all high-profile celebrities, and yet we haven't heard nothing. The American people need to know, because I believe half of Hollywood is about to lose their job when this gets revealed, because they've all been corrupt. They've all been horrible, disgusting individuals that finally need to be held accountable. We've spent too long at the feet of so many of these corrupt people that now we're cleaning house. On top of that is this. Representative Tim Burchett, he's out of Tennessee, out of my district. We've got to quit funding to the Taliban under @real Donald Trump. $40 million a week to our enemies is a slap in the face to those who served. And this is official document to the president of stopping the funding. Guys, you realize that we're literally giving the Afghanistan Central Bank right here, we're giving them tens of millions of dollars every single week just to keep their economy and country afloat? Like, who voted for that? Who voted for your tax dollars to be given to other countries whenever we are $36 trillion in debt? And also, not only that, there's a lot of mistakes that have been made when it comes to the FBI, the DOJ, that are coming out, that our boy John Kennedy is about to reveal. And guys, these are the right people. You can feel it. True patriots for America. Listen to this.
John Kennedy's with us now, member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Sir, good morning to you. I know it's been a busy time reacting to this. What David Spunk's reporting, that's a lot of new information. His travel overseas, what he was doing before. Apparently, he wanted to set off detonation devices that did not go off. What more can you add on the investigation now?
Well, first, I want to thank President Biden and the First Lady for coming to New Orleans. The president, whoever it is, represents America, and by him and the First Lady coming, they're showing that America cares to my people, and I appreciate that. There were so many acts of valor and demonstrated love for common humanity. The cops who stood their ground and killed this rabid animal, the paramedics, the ambulance drivers, the doctors, the nurses, the people on Bourbon Street who stopped and cared for their fellow visitors. I also want to give a shout out to the FBI. It was rocky at first. I'm not going to kid you. The first 10 hours after the incident, we didn't have nearly enough experienced FBI or Homeland Security people there, but they came in and they corrected immediately a lot of the inaccurate information that we were being given. They're learning more and more about this animal. Mistakes were made. Our mayor and our police chief screwed up. We're going to fix it, and we're going to be ready for the Super Bowl. I want people to come to New Orleans. I'll be there and feel safe, and the state's going to be put in charge. As soon as President Trump takes office, I'm going to ask him and Homeland Security to send us a bunch of folks to help out. The city will still be involved, but they're not going to run the show.
Your governor, Jeff Landry, called on President Trump's nominees to be confirmed right away. Let's take a quick listen to that. Call 4-3, please.
To me, right now, it's about protecting the homeland. As we prepare for a Super Bowl in the city of New Orleans, we need Kristi Noem to be confirmed on the same day that Donald Trump is sworn in as president. Chuck Schumer knows about terror. He is from New York. He knows about how important it is to have a Homeland Security secretary in place. We don't need any gaps.
Do you think that the incident would spur any sort of faster confirmation hearings?
Well, I hope so. What I also hope it spurs, I think Kristi, Ms. Noem, the governor, is going to be confirmed. And I hope she's confirmed quickly, because I'm going to call her and send us every person you can spare to New Orleans to help us protect everybody at the Super Bowl. Look, President Biden is of record, and some in the administration saying the biggest threat to American domestic security is white racism and terrorism. I don't think many people believe that. They didn't believe it then. They don't believe it now. It's these radical Islamic terrorists who believe that if you don't believe what they believe, you should be killed. And that they include Jews and Americans in that number.
Sir, hindsight was perfect, as they say, 2020. But when you look back on this, I don't know if it's the FBI or even local leaders there in New Orleans. Could this have been
Guys, let me tell you this. The amount of change that's coming, I want to show you this because I've been getting some pushback because sometimes I say her name wrong. Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody. Saying it right. Look at her message for the J6ers. Because I'm telling you, change is coming, and I cannot wait.
Hey everybody, we just finished the certification of President Trump's historic victory. This is also a victory for MAGA as we declare that we are coming back and we are taking over this country and we are going to destroy everything the Democrats have done for the past 4 years. We want to celebrate, and we are celebrating today by certifying his election. And we are so proud of President Trump and J.D. Vance, our incoming vice president. Thank you, everyone, for all your hard work. Thank you for your support. Let's make America great again.
Guys, imagine the feeling of being able to say those words. Trump is back. He's going to be doing some big things. And again, too, I showed you earlier. So they've already got the bill drafted for the no tax on Social Security. Leading report post earlier today, too. Check this out. From the leading report, Representative Byron Donalds announces that he and Senator Ted Cruz have drafted the No Taxes on Tips Act to fulfill Trump's campaign promises. Again, there is going to be what we're seeing now, what I'm seeing through all my research, of close to 100 executive orders that Trump says he is ready to sign on day one to get America back on track. This is going to be such a historic day. Again, too, it's putting America first. It's making sure the border is secure. It's making sure that the Department of Department of Justice is actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. Listen to this, because again, too, they tried to weaponize the DOJ, the FBI, all against Trump. And even Biden, as old and senile as he is, with all respect to him as the president, came out and said that he should have chosen somebody other than Merrick Garland because Merrick Garland wasn't fast enough to prosecute Trump and not allow him to be able to run for president. Tell me if that is not some form of weaponization. But listen to this, because a lot of changes coming to the DOJ.
What is it going to take? These people are embedded into the Justice Department to be able to effectuate what Pam Bondi wants, what the president wants, and most importantly, the sovereign will of the American people. What has to happen in your mind at the Justice Department, sir, to get back to this unified theory, which they hate, that Donald Trump is actually the chief magistrate, the chief law enforcement officer of this nation, happens to be the individual that occupies the office of the president, and that would be Donald John Trump, sir.
Yeah, the left calls this a theory that the president runs the executive branch. I would point to Article 2 of the Constitution, where it says the executive power belongs to the president. He is elected by all Americans. President Trump just won a landslide victory, 312 electoral votes that they're going to certify today. All seven swing states. He is the president of the United States. And the good thing about President Trump is I think he's learned his lesson from his first term, where he had never run for office before. He won the first time he ran for office. He won the presidency, and he's going to come in after 4 years of his presidency the first time, where they obstructed him from day one with Crossfire Hurricane, Russian collusion. They tried to undermine him every step of the way. He's had 4 years in the wilderness to reflect, and he's going to come back this time. And I don't think he's going to mess around this time. I think he's going to come in very experienced, very eyes wide open. And I would say to these Justice Department and Intel officials who think they're going to undermine President Trump, the duly elected President of the United States, it's not going to happen this time, guys. Your job is to carry out the president's policy agenda and lawful orders. And it doesn't matter whether you have a policy disagreement with the President of the United States. If you can't carry out his policy agenda and his lawful orders, you better resign from your job and go get a different job. Maybe run for Congress, maybe run for president. But if you try to subvert the will of the American people, if you try to undermine the President of the United States, I am going to push very hard for the Justice Department to open criminal probes on you and throw your asses in prison, because we're not messing around this time. The American people elected President Trump again. He has a policy agenda, and it's not going to be subverted by these Andrew Weissmans and other weasels within the executive branch.
What is it going to take? These people are...
He said, we're going to throw your butt in jail. Guys, I'm telling you this. Today is a good day, too. I put it in the thing. Social Security Fairness Act has been signed into law by President Joe Biden. Finally, for the first time, this removes the windfall eliminating provision, WEP, and government pension offset GPO, allowing nearly 3 million public sector workers, including teachers, firefighters, and police officers, to receive full Social Security benefits they have contributed towards enhancing their retirement. Guys, if there ain't... So, I just showed you that Trump is already working on, let me pull this up, the no tax on Social Security coming from Thomas Massey, who has put that bill forward for them to be voted on, because remember, Trump said it's going to happen. Thank you so much, Lenville McQuinn, for the super chat. Let's go. Y'all show Lenville some love in the chat, everybody. Y'all are killing it today. I may have already deleted that. But, so I already showed you that no tax on Social Security, because again, too, to get taxed on something you've already paid taxes on is double taxation. It makes no sense. But for the firefighters, the teachers, the police officers, all these public sector workers to not receive Social Security after they have paid into it their entire lives is also theft from the federal government, finally overdone, and it's now being fair. Thank you so much, Odal Lillian, for the super chat. Said King Charles is the king of Canada. How is Canada going to make the 51st state of the USA? I don't know, but hey, Trump has a plan. Y'all show Odal some love in the chat. Odal, are you from the UK? If you are, please let us know. I'd love to know, because us reaching across this world is one of the coolest things ever. And me being able to serve y'all with this show, I get so excited every day, because this is so much, it's fun for me. I hope you're enjoying it. But the biggest thing too is that we got to get Trump in office. The more and more things that we're seeing coming from Biden on trying to make things harder for Trump as he gets into office is literally a slap into the face to the American people. Check this out.
January 6th, Congress is going to will certify Mark's President-elect Trump's election results, and President Biden wasting no time cementing his far-left climate legacy with a last-ditch effort permanently banning offshore drilling in most U.S. waters. Incoming White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt joins us right now. Caroline, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good to see you, Steve.
It's good to see you. So on the way out, in his last 2 weeks, what he's trying to do is he's trying to slow down Donald Trump, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. This is a disgraceful decision by the Biden administration. And I say the administration because we all know Joe Biden doesn't know what's going on. This isn't him. This is the radical left environmental extremists in his administration who don't care about what's in the best interest of the American people who just reelected President Trump with a resounding mandate to drill, baby, drill. This decision, the intent behind it is to exact political revenge on the American people and on President Trump to try to slow down his administration and make it harder to implement the agenda that he campaigned on. But the good news is President Trump is going to get to work to day one. His administration will look at how we can rescind this radical order and expedite permits for drilling and for fracking to bring down the cost of living and energy in this country. That's what he campaigned on, and the American people can expect President Trump to deliver on that promise. He will not be deterred.
Well, and here's the thing, Caroline. Apparently, a lot of these lands, and we're talking about the East Coast, West Coast, down the Gulf Coast, and up around the Bering Sea, a lot of these areas, gas refiners have not really had any interest in developing anyway, but nonetheless, it's just symbolic. And I know it's going to be challenged in court, and I know that Republicans can change the law. But still, for him to do it in the last 2 weeks, rather than his first 2 weeks, it speaks volumes.
Yeah, it is insane.
It does. As I said, this is the Biden administration simply trying to throw a sucker punch at President Trump on Joe Biden's way out the door.
Right.
But this is going to be Joe Biden's legacy, not doing what's in the best interest for the American people to bring down the cost of living and inflation that has been robbing them of their hard-earned paychecks every week. No, it's about throwing stones at those who don't believe in their ideology. It's about being anti-Trump, not pro-America. But that's all going to change on January 20th, rest assured.
And that is exactly 2 weeks from today. Now, today, January 6th, this is a day when, according to our laws, they've got to certify the presidential election. What is throwing kind of a monkey wrench into things, Caroline, is the fact that it's a snow day in Washington, and the federal government technically is closed. The schools are closed. Everybody, but Republican leaders said, hey, members of Congress who are Republicans, make sure you stay in town over the weekend, and most of them did. Democrats left town. But nonetheless, it sounds like there will be enough Republicans in the Capitol today to certify the election.
Yes, indeed. And they must do so because President Trump received a resounding mandate on November 5th, 312 electoral college votes. He won the popular vote, and the American people want him to get to work from 2 weeks from today. So let's certify this election. And then Congress needs to immediately get to work to start drafting a big, beautiful bill that needs to make its way to President Trump's desk as soon as possible. He wants one package to make America safe and wealthy again, to include border security measures, more funding for Border Patrol and ICE so that they can hire more people to help implement the mass deportations that President Trump promised and the American people elected him to implement. And this package also needs to include critical tax relief. We must extend the Trump tax cuts and add President Trump's signature campaign promise to end taxes on tips. Republicans need to get tough and smart, stick together, send this bill to the Resolute desk. President Trump will be there to sign it in a couple of weeks.
Let's go, guys. I'm telling you, the biggest bill, change America forever. I want to show you one more thing, guys, from Kamala Harris. I know a lot of y'all don't like her voice, that you say it's cringy to hear her speak. This is probably the most well-spoken I've ever heard her speak, but this right here is historic, what you're about to hear. If you have not heard this yet, this specific part, I want you to hear this, because this is the part where she acknowledges that Trump won, certifies the election. This is the official moment in time that Trump has won the presidential election, with Kamala Harris, his opponent, certifying the election. Listen to this.
As delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
Hey, we're going to stand up. We're going to stand up for it. Let's go. Yes. Woohoo.
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
The Democrats.
The whole number of electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes.
This is a historic moment, everybody. Remember this.
Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes.
There's Hakeem Jeffries. I see Nancy Pelosi.
This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
There it is, y'all. Trump needs some prayers. This is big. This day, a lot of people prayed for, guys. Like, it's oh man. The tears are not coming. The tears are not coming. I'm not doing it. Guys, I'm being as real with y'all as possible. I love this country. I love America, and I do not like it whenever we have elected elitist politicians that don't put America first. And we have seen that over the past 4 years. We've seen them open the borders. We've seen them spend our hard-earned tax dollars. Guys, it is so hard to make money. Everybody knows that. We spend hours of our lives away from our families, away from our friends to make money. And then for the government to come in and waste it like nobody's business makes me so furious. And I'm so glad that we're finally getting in place the right people who are going to help put America back on track, limit government, get us back to how we should have been from the very beginning, and hopefully, not just for the next 4 years. I pray and hope that it goes so well for the next 4 years that we win again in 2028 and in 2032. That for the next 12 years, we have a revolution in the United States to change us forever and to make us the greatest country ever. I love you all. To everybody that's watching, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'm here to serve you every day with the top news, Monday through Friday, 2 shows a day, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button. I think it is this well-earned today for Trump. If you love Trump, hit that like button, guys. It really does help out. And thank you so much to all of our members of the channel. The link is in the description to join if you want to. Guys, remember, we take that money and we donate it to charity. We've already given so much money, guys, and it's all because of you. I want this channel to be more than just reporting the news. One day when we have over 1 million subscribers, I want us to be known that, oh yeah, TrueLife News, they're one of the most giving channels ever. They give so much back to help make this world a better place. I want to give some shout outs to everybody that gives a super chat donation. Ronald Zimmerman, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, Michelle Eisner, Lenville McQuinn, Odile Lillian, Brian McGavick, and Leigh Lewis, who said, woohoo, so proud of Congress and Kamala not throwing a monkey wrench in the certification. Y'all show them some love in the chat. I am here for you. I love you all. Appreciate you so much. America first, baby. One more for the road, guys. This has been a great show. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.